What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB. I'm joined by my brother from another. You can catch him on Max Preps Radio. You can also catch him on Crescent City Sports Radio, broadcasting high school football games. Everybody, my good friend, Vashawn VK Jones. VK, what's going on?
Good evening. Good evening. What's going on with y'all? What's going on with everybody out there? Another week. We're going into week number 3. And man, all I can tell you was what a week 2, man. What a week 2, not just high school, but all around the sports.
Definitely. We're going to get into some Saints conversation. We're going to talk about LSU and Southern. We're going to recap, what we thought about week 2 for Louisiana high school football, and then we're going to 3. So we got a lot to talk about. But let's get right to it with LSU football. I'll let you start that off first. LSU versus Southern. LSU with the big win, but mainly everyone is talking about the 5th quarter. VK, take that over.
Well, plain and simple, the 5th quarter. Now, if some people don't know, most of the time in HBCUs or in high school, especially most of the urban high schools, they usually, have the bands play after the game for a little while, for at least 15 to 20 minutes after. You know what I'm saying? Just to go at each other and all that stuff. But for the first time ever, LSU decided with Southern to do a 5th quarter for the first time ever at Tiger Stadium. And when I say it was, to me, the biggest entertainment besides the game itself, the biggest entertainment was halftime show. I think both bands came together and did a little something. But then when the bands were at it for the 5th quarter, it was unbelievable. I think it went viral. But then on top of that, man, we know what the Southern Human Jukebox has, but credit the LSU Marching Tiger Band. They came out and bought it.
The
Not
Golden Band from Tigerland.
Tigerland. I'm not saying that they won, but they did a hell of a job out there. They really bought it out there and everything. They kind of hung in there. Then on top of that, it looked like they just really prepared themselves to play against Southern. A lot of this stuff was clean, a lot of fun stuff. They was really tight, man. I really enjoyed it, man. And then the thing about it, the event itself was unbelievable. We didn't heard about no arrests, no fights, none of this stuff. Everybody had a great time, and it was unbelievable for the first time ever that both teams went against each other in the state. I'm just hoping that's not the last time because I do want to go. I do want to go one time, maybe next year if they do it again. But I hope this is not the last time. Big time enjoyable day indeed in Baton Rouge.
Definitely. Heard a lot of people preach about unity during this game, and to have both bands together shows unity. To be honest with you, and which to me was great in itself. And I didn't know they were going to play together, so it was shocking when you saw it. But man, they put on a great show for not just Baton Rouge, but also the entire state of Louisiana. Um, Game wise, it was a beatdown. LSU jumped out big in the first quarter and pretty much shut it down after halftime. Credit Southern for not quitting, giving it their all. Southern's going to be a force in the SWAC. Let's get that straight. They're going to be a force in the SWAC, but they played a much superior team in LSU, and LSU took advantage of every opportunity that was given to them.
From the first play of the game on, you know what I'm saying? So I said it myself, Southern fans, don't do it to yourself. Just don't do it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? But Southern, we seen some good things out of them, regardless of the loss. So Southern University of Baton Rouge is gonna be a factor. They're gonna be a factor, especially in that SWAC race. It's gonna be pretty tight. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna contend, and I ain't gonna lie, they look pretty good. But I ain't gonna lie, Jackson State really impressing me right now. So that's a worthy challenger. So I think Coach Dooley has a good team, and we'll see what happens going forward. But it was great for the state, and I didn't realize this until I looked at the game on Saturday that LSU's president is African American.
Yes, he
So
is.
he really pushed it for these two teams to play.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it makes people proud that they all came together. And then big time props to the SEC network.
Mm-hmm.
They began the broadcast playing the song. Now I'm gonna say this: I'm not trying to be all smart and know everything, but plain and simple, the song that Southern usually play out there, and then LSU took it. They
Net.
say neck, but it's actually the song is called "Something on the Side of Your Neck."
From
That's the name of
Cameo.
the song by Cameo. So
Yes.
SC Network played that for the beginning of the game and throughout the night. So I like that a lot. That just shows the versatility and everything. And that song has been so much of Southern, so much of everyone else. It's crazy, man. So gotta love it.
Gotta love it, man, and I'm glad they came together. Also, let's not forget it's the first time that they've ever played each other. First time. Supposedly next year, supposed to be LSU versus Grambling. Supposedly next year. We'll see about that. Um, let's let's not forget about also Tulane. Tulane also played a SWAC opponent in Alcorn State. Um, that was also a beatdown. Alcorn didn't bring the band, man. I was kind of disappointed. Looking forward to Alcorn's band. They didn't bring the
I
band.
think somebody was telling me that when I went to church, one of my guys went to the game. It's like, why y'all calling it? I think it has something to do with budget. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes
It could, it could.
certain schools would be like, I don't know if we're gonna spend this extra money or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because they gotta go. Alcohol got to go on the road at McNeese coming up this weekend. So,
Ooh,
so more than anything else, will the band come? I don't know, but there got to be some budget problems going on because most of the time those teams they'll definitely play on the road in the conference, but it just
yeah.
depends on where they're playing and all this other stuff and budget. That's what I think what it is. I was kind of surprised myself that Alcorn didn't bring them in, and it's not that far of a ride.
It's
So
not.
I don't understand that. So it is what it is.
Gotcha. Tulane, the big victory over Alcorn. Tulane goes to 2-0. Our good friend Charles Allen, he says, when are we getting to the great win by Grace King High School? Keep watching. We're gonna get to that in a second. Good. Keep watching. Now, yesterday, New Orleans Saints almost gave everybody once again heart failure. But but the Saints pulled it out in the fourth quarter. Um, did the Saints win it or did Atlanta give the game away? I don't care. We got a W in the win column for the Saints, and the Saints won 27-26. Fourth quarter down 26-10, 26-10, and Jameis and the Saints came back with two touchdown passes to Michael Thomas, and then came back and got Will Lutz with a game-winning field goal. I'm gonna go first. As I was scrolling through Facebook during the game, a lot of people were putting the blame on Jameis Winston, which which was just wrong because none of what happened early in the game was Jameis's fault, none at all. And O line was getting destroyed. The defensive line was getting destroyed. They couldn't stop the run. RPO has given the Saints problems for a couple years now, especially when they played Jalen Hurts in the Philadelphia Eagles. So that was giving them problems. But once the O line was able to give Jameis Winston time to throw, you saw what Jameis Winston is made of. And everybody got quiet. Those that were accusing him of this is why we're losing, they got quiet. Didn't say a word. But they were who that at the end for sure. So look, you got to give Jameis time to throw the ball. He cannot be running for his life. Ruiz and Hurts are the weakest links on that Saints O line. They've got to play better. Period. But the Saints showed resiliency. They kept fighting. They never gave up, and they won the game. BK.
Now, now let me tell you this. You seen one of my statuses yesterday on social media. I said if they don't make adjustments now for Jameis, he's gonna get killed.
Yeah.
They made some adjustments in the second half. They went into more of a no-huddle offense, and that really helped them a whole lot for Jameis to have some kind of time and to have some kind of rhythm. So that really helped them. At first, he was off with him and Michael Thomas, but all of a sudden, they started to get it in rhythm like that late in the game, and I'll tell you, the resiliency of that team really moved forward. But I tell you, the offensive line's got to get better. Some changes are gonna have to happen. Hurst is just beyond terrible. That's why I always thought that injury to that rookie was gonna hurt the Saints a lot. So Hurst is gonna have to find a way, or they're gonna have to make a change in the lineup. Caesar Ruiz 100% pure D trash. Trash. I'm sorry. If he don't, he might get one more start, in my opinion. Now after that, you got to pull him. You got to put somebody else in that spot. I'm sorry. He was drafted high, and he has not proven nothing. And that's our friend George Peppers' boy from Michigan. And even he said he has not turned the corner at all. And that's real coming from a Michigan fan. But at the same time, they did everything they can to keep the Saints from winning, even at the end with the questionable calls and all that stuff. Trying to take the game with the Saints. But the Saints blocked that kick from Cool. And guess what? Saints get the win. We'll take it. They failed. Atlanta fails again. They are always known to do this. They never let you down. Never let you down. The Atlanta fans thought they had the bragging right. They looked good. They did. But they just didn't finish them off.
I mean, they're called the Falcons. Falcons.
Fail kids. Mm-hmm.
For a reason. But I do like that the Saints had to face adversity in week one compared to last year. I think last year that big blowout went over Green Bay. They felt, how can I say this? Felt pretty high about themselves, and then it went to Carolina last year and just stunk it up. This year, I think they faced adversity early. They dealt with it, showed everyone that we can come back. And now I think they're not going to be as high on themselves going into week two. Plus, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers are coming to town. So not going to be an easy game against the Buccaneers, but the Saints can pull this out. I mean, we've beaten Tom Brady 4 out of 5 times in the past 2 years.
I think the Saints got a great chance coming up on Sunday. It might be tough, but that offensive line for Tampa is getting more hurt by the minute. If the Saints defense takes advantage early, this game might not even be close.
Woo.
This game might not even be close. I know Brady was looking impressive against the Cowgirls and whatever, but at the same time, still the offensive line is going to be really, really, really tested. They got in the backfield against Brady on Sunday,
They did, but the Bucks ran the ball
and they ran the
extremely
ball
well with
well.
Fournette,
They did.
and the
So
Saints couldn't stop it yesterday.
yeah, I'll tell you what, the Saints going to have to make adjustments if they can set the tone, stop the run early. That's going to be big for them because they're going to get some pressure on Brady. They're
Oh
going to
yeah,
get pressure on him.
oh yeah. You got us in the pressure, especially when he got a lot of O linemen that are injured. You got to do it. You got to do it. Bradley Roby got to step it up. With a Debo out, he has to step it up.
How long are Debo is out?
I don't know. But for the time being, Roby got to step it up.
And my biggest thing, and I looked at Sunday with some of the secondary, it's like, so we traded Gardner Johnson for who?
Evans,
So
Evans, Evans didn't play too bad.
Evans was okay. He was
Yeah,
okay. But at the same time, sometimes he was over aggressive, but he's got to get a little better because, to me, Gardner Johnson brought so much intensity. It wasn't even funny.
yeah,
And you
true.
need that edge. So, but we'll see what happens Sunday. It's going to be interesting with the home opener. We'll see if the Saints can go 2-0.
We will see big games coming next Sunday. Saints and the Buccaneers here in New Orleans, Louisiana, inside the Caesars Superdome. Can't wait. Now, before we get into week 3 of the LHSAA high school, let's go back to week 2 first, and let's talk about the appeal that happened Thursday and Friday. Um, Only 20 some teams won their appeal. The rest didn't. Um, Warren Easton, which is a 4A school, was put in Division One. I'm going to go first with my thoughts, and then I'll let you go after. To me, the LHSAA is a complete joke. It's a joke with the split that happened years ago, and now with what they're doing, it's ridiculous. Jefferson Parish and Orleans Parish has to play in the select automatically, and we are getting robbed of great matchups in the playoffs. Totally getting robbed, and I don't know what they're doing now. I have no clue. But to me, the LHSAA is a total failure. Total failure with what they're doing with their high school sports.
I can agree to that. I can agree to that, and I think you look at it and you look at teams like Easton. I really feel bad for Warren Easton because if Shaw's in Division 2, why is Easton not in Division 2? They're in Class 4A. It don't make no sense at all. But then on top of that, you have to think about this. The LH, you got to think they're putting more teams in all the classification, but now it kind of dwindled the amount of teams. Now you're gonna have like 4 classes in non-select, 4 classes in the selects. But I think you look at Division 1, you have to think about this. I don't think we're gonna get robbed with any playoff matchups. You look at Division 1 now. Division 1 could be maybe the toughest class maybe ever. Think about this. You have Easton, Carr, Catholic. You also, and guess who's in Division 1 as well? Acadiana. So now you about to have the matchups that's been missing for years. So we're about to see the toughest class and the toughest division in recent memory. It's gonna be an interesting draw going down the line. I think the LHSA is a joke. I agree, but I really think that Division 1 in the selects is going to be really interesting on the football side and the basketball side. So it's gonna be very very intense, and I really think maybe could have did better. But the only school I really feel bad for is Warren Easton because now they got to wind up probably playing Carr again or playing Catholic again down the line. Of course, Jared Phillips kind of didn't like it, but he understands that that's the decision that's made. But at the same time, I mean, there are some things that just don't make sense. Acadiana in select, that there is like, wow. Okay, what point you trying to make? But I really think the reason why they probably was placed there because I think now the LHSA is cracking down on affiliation with Jefferson Parish, affiliation with the charter schools, and affiliations with certain of the schools associated with certain organizations. And that's why they're putting them in select. It's messed up, but now it's like, oh, you're charter, oh, you're going to be select. It's like they're forcing their hand, but it's really crazy. The whole thing is crazy. I really thought the Jefferson Parish School shouldn't be there, but I understand what the association is, and it's like, okay, that's why they're being thrown there.
Well,
Because on the basketball side of it, you know, my favorite in Class 5A now is in Division 1, and that's Bonneville. So we're just gonna see what happens on both sides of the fence. But there's some schools I do feel bad for because of this whole appeal stuff. It's crazy, but eventually something's got to happen. I don't know when, but we'll see what happens if it works. I don't know if it is, but we'll see if it works.
well, I disagree with you saying that it's this gonna be the toughest ever. I disagree with that. But I will say this. I will say this. Get rid of the split and go back to your 5 classes and let the teams earn their way into the playoffs. 32 teams each division. Think about it. If you have a Destrehan, Acadiana, a West Monroe, Jesuit, Rummel, um, Zachary, you have all these big name schools, Carr in 5A. We're going to get matchups every week. Every week. The first round playoffs are just watered down, man. People don't even people don't even that shouldn't even be in the playoffs are playing and getting beat down. There's no good matchup even in the first round. None at all. We
But
would
but I,
have that.
but
We
I
would
think
have great matchups.
but I think it's gonna. I think a little bit of the. I think the little bit of the change in it that we not gonna have all that because we'll have the top 24 teams in each division. So
I
meaning plain and simple, they're going to weed out. To me, they're going to have a lot more first round matchups that's better because of the fact they're going to weed out those teams that do not want to do that. Now, I see what Blue Jackson is saying. Yeah, I can understand that. Two round buys. I don't know that because I think they should have kept if they would have kept it at 32, or maybe put it at 30 or something. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, putting more teams in those divisions, especially certain good teams, and not just that. When you put, we're gonna try to weed out that, but who knows? It might be the same thing. If
they
it's
still
the same old
giving
thing,
people
hey,
playoff
ain't
berths.
gonna work.
Not even what they're doing, people still gonna have these losing records, especially in select, and still get in. We got our good friend joining us now, George Peppers. About time you joined us, George Peppers. Man, I see half your face. You know what I'm saying? But what's going on, man?
Might have to turn your mic up.
Can you hear us, George?
Can you hear us, George? We can't hear you.
George, can you hear us? We can't hear George. He's having technical difficulties right now. Try to bring him back in and see what we can do. All right, try to speak for us, George. We still don't have George. We can't hear him still. So technical difficulties with George Peppers. But I think still, it's still giving people, hey, come on in, instead of things being earned. But what can I say? I mean, I just wish they get rid of split. I rather just the 5 classes, best 32 teams. Let's go.
That need to. I've been preaching that for the longest, but I just don't have no faith in it. I just have no faith in it. They just keep edit, and some of that is not. It's some of it is on the LHSAA. Some of it is on Eddie Bonine, which he might be out of there soon. But at the same time, I put it on some of these principals who still wanted this split, still wanted it, you know. But at the same time, I think they tried to put it together. But, talking and hearing a couple of the athletic departments and athletic directors and stuff like that, and the one person who had a legitimate right, even with the vote of the split, was Sheena Smith and Eric. And hearing what she had to say, she made a lot of sense. She felt like she wanted that split to end, but there was no kind of communication before the meeting, no kind of info, no kind of special meeting or something before the thing happens last year. So with that, it's just the fact that nobody's on the same page. It's just nobody's on the same page. That's why I've lost faith in trying to put this thing back together. It is what it is. I want this. I want to split the end, but it's been here over 10 years, and I don't know if there's an end in sight. because these schools and principals, and it started in Central Louisiana, they keep finding loopholes. They keep finding loopholes, bro. It is what it is, bro.
It is what it is.
I'm just hoping if LHSA, I'm just like this. Please do me a favor when you put these state championships up. You got 8 title games. Please do not put 4 and 4 on Friday and Saturday. Put 2 on Thursday, 3 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, and everything will go smooth. And stop doing that. Selling tickets per game. You need to go back to buying a ticket, and people can stay all day long. You'll still make money off that. Everybody, LHS about this freaking money grab stuff. I can't stand that, man. I know I'm a media member, but for fan bases, I can't stand that. They did that in Lake Charles. That's bad,
Right.
man. They need to stop that right now because you still gonna make money anyway. Even when the people pilot, even if Westmore or somebody come up there, they just gonna come for that game. They're not gonna just come. They're gonna be a tailgating and then they're gonna get their ticket come in. We talking about the people that's in New Orleans, from New Orleans, maybe not far from Baton Rouge, and feel like I want to watch everything the whole day. They need to fix that, man. That's the only way. Fix that, and also please split your championship from Thursday to Saturday.
Blue Jackson says, "Say what it is. Some of these schools want to avoid other schools for whatever reason." That's true. Also, that's true. Also,
That's
you know,
true, but I think even the private schools don't want to avoid it. I think some of the public schools don't. It depends on the area of schools. It depends on the area because a lot of the New Orleans public schools and private, they are not running away from competition.
no, most
They
of them want
want
to split. Most of them
They
want
don't.
just
They
one.
want. They want to compete. They want to compete. The realest thing I ever heard was from Timmy Bird the year before the split, and he said that this is going to be the one of the dumbest things this thing will ever do. It ain't about this. Is something else when a bunch of freaking adults want to try to dictate things in athletics instead of knowing the kids. They want to compete. They want to go against each other. But now you're gonna force their hand.
All
So
right, let's move on. So quickly, give me top four, um, your top four thoughts about week two as we recap week two.
well, my fourth thoughts of week two. First of all, great game I did Friday on Max Preps with Cadlick and Easton. Cadlick wound up pulling away, but it was a heck of a ball game. The Easton defense is really good, even though they lost Foster Wallace for the season in week one. But the defense is really good, but they gotta really execute when it's time. They had a huge drive, could have took the lead, could have given them a lot of momentum. Fred Robertson is the truth. Fred Robertson is the truth. He had over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. He can go. And he could have got the ball on that first and goal, but he decided to go for a sneaking fumble. But that was a good game indeed. Um, the comeback for De La Salle. And I thought my theory was about to be right with Holy Cross, 22 nothing, and then all of a sudden the comeback. Big ups to Travis Jewett and his team. Big ups to them getting it done. And also you look at what a big win last week for Ruston. Good bounce back win against Jesuit. A really good game. And they came back and they got it done. Big ups to them. And then my surprise of the week. How about the Kennedy Cougars? Big victory against Terrebonne, 3-point victory, and they did pretty well on special teams too. So that was huge for Kennedy getting that job done, and they're undefeated and they are looking good.
All right, I like everything you said. So let me get started. Um, First off, shout out to Hornville on their comeback win against Mandeville. Give Hornville some credit as they came back. being down by more than 2 possessions to Mandeville and come back and get the win in Boutique at Tiger Stadium. The White Jared saying, yes, sir. He's very happy that, you gave Kennedy some credit.
I picked them last week, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah.
big ups to y'all, man. I talked to a couple of those players Friday on the 1008 Sports Show. You know what I'm saying? They got a nice quarterback too. Maybe the receiver core probably the most underrated in the city. They are nice.
All right. Um, Grace King. Grace King getting a victory. They were celebrating all night. They knew people that work at Haynes. They were trying to find them after the game. Go talk their trash. Grace King was feeling themselves. Yes, they beat Haynes. So shout out to Grace King with the bounce back victory. To me, Haynes is a better team than Patrick Taylor. So shout out to Grace King with the win. Yo, Lutcher and St. Charles Catholic. Man, the last play, a Hail Mary caught by Lutcher, and he's running to score the touchdown and gets tackled at the 5-yard line with St. Charles Catholic getting the win. Man, that was big, big. And then lastly, I gotta speak about these running backs we got here in the New Orleans area. We are loaded with running backs. Just to name a few: Elijah Davis at Riverside, beast. P.J. Morton at De La Salle, beast. David Kinsey at Shaw, beast. Fred Robinson at Warren Easton, a junior, beast. And then I'm gonna say a name that people need to start recognizing because he has offers out the wazoo already, and he's just a sophomore. Harlem Berry at St. Martin's. Already got offers from LSU and Ohio State. Man, we are loaded at the running back position here in New Orleans.
And you forgot about a name. You
I know I
forgot
did.
about a name.
Who?
Arnold Barnes of Booker T.
Arnold Barnes of Booker T. Yes. Yes, sir. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. Tory Lambert's another one. We can't forget him too. We know somebody gonna put him up there, but at the same time, he's a good back and everything else. But what I noticed with Brother Martin, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying before, they got some inexperience. So they winning, but they playing a little slow. But Lambert is one of the backs, but it is a loaded class of running backs this year. It is no
Yes.
doubt. It's deep. It's been a long time since we had a deep pool like this in the running back position, but also in the linebacker position as well.
Yes. I agree. All right, my friend. Let's get into week 3. Let's get it going. We're
And
gonna start off.
and before you get into week 3, like we mentioned, Charles Allen. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Patrick Taylor. They're 2-0 on the season, and also
No, they're not. No, they're
they
not.
won last week. They came back and won last week, so they're 2 and
No, they
0.
didn't. No, they're not.
You sure?
Thomas Jefferson won 15 or 14.
Ah,
Thomas Jefferson won 15 or 14.
ah. But all I'm gonna tell you, one last thing. Big shout out to Etheridge Foster Jr. getting the first victory as a coach at Reed, getting it done. Nick Foster's brother, his older brother, got it done on Friday. Nick Foster getting the win against Landry. What a night for the Foster family. Big shout out to him.
We're gonna get to St. Aug in a minute. James Bouye say talk about Shaw. I want to see if Reggie says something. He keeps mentioning everything, Brother Martin. Reggie is a Shaw graduate. we'll 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 get to that in a minute. JB, we'll get to that. But let's start. Booker T. Washington versus John Ehret. Both teams are looking for their first win. I'll let you go first, man. What do you think about this game?
It should be an interesting ball game. Both of these teams looking for a win in the worst way and everything else. At first, I was thinking maybe the West Bank Marrero boys and Eric. I'm going with Booker T for the upset. I'm going with Booker
Woo!
T for the win because I think Arnold Barnes and I think Coach Wayne Reese Jr. is going to have them boys ready. They're looking for a signature win for that program, and I think they're going to try. They're going to get it against Eric.
Oh man, we got some people talking about John Eric, man. John Eric always a big topic of our show. Sweet Jackson, Eric struggling. Coach Nunn, Booker T by 10 points. Woo, man, man,
Wow,
man, man.
I can't say
Jeez,
about 10. It's going to be close, but wow.
man, bruh. It's gonna be a close game. It will be a close game, but I think John Eric will pull this off some type of way. I think Eric pulls it off some type of way. I don't even know how, but some type of way Eric pulls this off. If they lose, I'm not gonna be surprised,
Hook and
but
ladder.
I think Eric pulls it off. I got John Eric.
John Eric they always go with some crazy finish. You've been seeing
Yeah,
it in the last 5, 10 years. They come with some crazy finishes in high school football. So
yes,
we'll
they
see what
do.
happens.
We got Jefferson Rise taking on Abramson. I got Abramson. I think Abramson gets the win.
I think Aberson gets the win too. I think they get to the win column this week.
Cool. John Curtis on the road to Oak Grove in Mississippi. Um, I don't know much about Oak Grove. I don't, but I'm going to stick with the home team. I'm going to stick with John Curtis with this win to get the win.
I think Curtis will get the bounce back win that they need for JT and everything. And I wonder what happened last week because I seen the video you sent me. I don't know if you know the story. I don't know the story either on that one. I don't. I love you don't want to talk about it.
Nah, we're going to let that be. We're going to let that be. We're not going to talk about what happened as high school players, their kids. They'll learn from it. We'll let that be. We'll let that be. All right. St. Martin's Episcopal Academy. They are 2-0. They're not going too far to take on the Riverdale Scottish Rebels, who are 0-2. I'm going to go first, man. I'm going to tell you right now. Harlem Berry runs over Riverdale. Harlem Berry runs over Riverdale. St. Martin's 3-0 after this game.
St. Martin's off to a great start, and Harlem Bear, and then I think Frank Kazoo is back at St. Martin's. I don't know who's the coach, but that coaching staff has been really doing well, getting players in there at St. Martin's. I really think it's going to be St. Martin's night. Harlem Bear is going to go off, and whoever's at Riverdale's administration or whatever, they need to be shot because this right here is going to be. I'm not going to say it's the lowest of the low. St. Martin's is a 1A school. Riverdale is like 4A. And I know Riverdale probably barely got maybe 40 players. They definitely gonna have just maybe a tad bit more for St. Martin. St. Martin's probably got maybe 35, maybe 40 kids. But St. Martin's, I think, is gonna be a little more better, a little more heart into the thing. They're just gonna outplay them, and that's what it is, man. And it just shows where Riverdale is at the bottom.
All right.
Not trying to throw shots, but it's just what it is.
Is what it is. Carver is going on the road to Baton Rouge to take on Woodlawn. Woodlawn has a great quarterback who has committed to LSU, but Woodlawn has struggled. As of right now, they are struggling. And now you have an athletic, talented team in Carver coming to town. I think Carver gets the job done. I think Carver will be a little bit too much for Woodlawn, to be honest with you. Talent and very athletic. I got Carver going 2-1.
I think Byron Addison is going to have his players ready. I think they pull it off too. I agree. I think they pull it off against Woodlawn. I'm really, really surprised with Marcus Randall and his team. I thought that Woodlawn could be a contender in 5A this year, but wow, 0-2 start. That's not really good. But they need to get the bounce back win this week. But I'm going with the Carver Rams.
All right. One of Sean picks that he thinks can win the well, not 5A now, the non-select Division 1 championship. The Destrehan Wildcats. Destrehan are going on the road for the first time this year to take on East Ascension. East Ascension went up to West Monroe and got a victory. Got a victory at West Monroe. Big
What
time.
you
Yes, they
say?
did. Yes, they did. Big victory for East Ascension. So now they got the Wildcats coming. East Ascension has played Zachary, West Monroe, and now they got Destrehan. But Jai Eugene at quarterback, Jai Eugene Jr., I should say, at quarterback, playmaker. He's going to make a lot of plays on East Ascension. Destrehan will be 3-0.
I agree. It's going to be a really close game, though. It's going to come down to a field goal. I think Destrehan wins. East Ascension, like that win. I think they're gonna. I think East Ascension might have a better year than people think, especially the win at West Monroe. But like I said before, programs like West Monroe got chinks in the armor, man. It's not what it used to be.
I'll say this: East Ascension, if they can develop a better passing game and stop relying so much on the run, East Ascension will be a very dangerous team. They got to develop the passing game a little bit. You cannot rely on your two running backs.
And it just depends on their quarterback too. They had a quarterback a couple years ago that threw the ball pretty well. I
Yeah,
don't know if they have their quarterback right now. That's why they rely on the run, but they set the tone with the run. You can't change that for East Ascension. They just gotta hopefully have a passer that they can really, really mix it up. That's the only thing with East Ascension. But they're gonna set the tone with the run, and the run game can help them.
there you go. Big matchup happening in the Baton Rouge area. Another one, St. Augustine Purple Knights, 2-1, going to
Uh,
Zachary.
2-0. That game against DeSoto didn't count. They treated that as a jamboree game. So St. Aug 2-0. I'm giving you a heads up on that. They didn't count that as a loss. They used that. DeSoto counted that as a regular season win because of the fact the Texas high school started that week,
Correct.
and St. Aug treated that as a preseason jamboree. So that didn't count. That didn't count.
Okay. Okay.
Let me know that. You
The
know,
so-called undefeated Purple Knights of St. Augustine, so-called.
so called. You gonna get them alone. That's all right. That's all right, though. We know you're a hater. It's all good. It's all good. You continue.
Uh, they're going to Zachary to play the defending Class 5A state champions, Zachary Broncos. Um, my good friend Vashawn V.K. Jones is a alumnus of St. Augustine. I'll let him go first.
It's gonna be a hell of a game. It's gonna be a hell of a game. Eli Holstein versus Amari Cooper. It's gonna be a hell of a ball game. I give Eli Holstein and Zachary the edge a little bit, but at the same time, there's something up with these Purple Knights. These Purple Knights look hungry this year. They played outstanding against DeSoto. And then on top of that, so far in 2 weeks, they didn't only give up 7 points in 2 games. That all defense is setting the tone. If Cooper sets the tone offensively and connects and that run game's going, I'm going with the Purple Knights to pull off the big victory at Zachary. Nick Foster is trying to get a big win to try to have a notch right there to crack the code to try to get St. Aug to state. So I really think that St. Aug is going to pull it off in a close game. Don't be surprised. It'll be another shootout like last season.
Now, I'm going to say this. This is the second nationally ranked team St. August playing in a month's time. DeSoto was the first. Zachary is the second. And last year was a great game. I watched it right here on my iPad. It was being streamed, I think, on Crescent City Sports, I believe. Am I
Quest
correct?
City Sports, and I was the one that called the ball game, myself and Eric Brown,
That's
which
right.
was a fun night at Tag. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be a fun night at Zachary, but I really think it's gonna be a shootout once again. I'm that's why I'm giving all the edge. But I wouldn't be surprised either team is gonna win it because how good both these teams are, especially Zachary having the best quarterback in the state in Eli Holstein.
I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be close, like 14 points. I think Zachary makes a few stops. You know, they got a good defensive end, and I think their safety. I want to say his name is Kylan Moore. I could be wrong with the last name, but I know the first name is Kylan, who's going to LSU. I think they're going to come up big, make a couple stops, and get the victory over St. Aug by 14 points. I got Zachary. And Reggie Johnson says Zachary will kill St. Aug 42-14. Okay.
Okay. I hope some players or coaches watching that. Hope you watch it. That'll
Motivation,
be
huh? Some motivation.
motivation. You know?
All right. Here we go. Well, hold on. Reggie got a response. Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Y'all tripping. Zachary had the best team they ever had. Hey, it might be the best team they ever had.
Might be.
It might be when they had Chris Hilton when they beat West Verona championship. That was a good team also. But hey,
the team last year was pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
The team last year was great.
Exactly.
So look, you think Zachary blows them out? Cool beans.
And that's the same
next week if that happens.
And that's the same guy who kept on underestimating Catholic of Baton Rouge last season.
Oh, that guy there? Yeah.
Same guy.
Yeah.
And guess what happened to Catholic? They won the state title.
Yep, sure did. Now, moving on. Kennedy Cougars, baby. 2-0. The Kennedy Cougars, 2-0. Going to St. Amant, who are also 2-0. Two great, shocking starts for these two programs. I don't think a lot of people thought these two programs would be 2-0, but here we are, Kennedy and St. Amant. But I'm gonna say this: Kennedy has some athletes, and these athletes will give St. Amant trouble. St. Amant becomes 2-1. Kennedy Cougars will get the victory, and the Kennedy Cougars will be 3-0. And these alumni from Kennedy, they about to come out the woodworks, man. I'm telling you, they win this game, they coming out for real, and they gonna start hearing them say, "We going to state." Kennedy about to get amped up after this win when they go 3-0.
This should be a good game. St. Amant going for the Orleans Parish championship by default if they win this game because they beaten 3 good Orleans Parish schools in 2 weeks. They could beat them 3 in 3 weeks and they'll give them the title. But at the same time, it should be a great ball game. I gotta agree with you. Jared. Kennedy Cougars are going 3-0. I think they're gonna be 3-0 on the season. And I know some Kennedy alumnus myself. It's gonna get crazy up at the K. I got Kennedy going 3-0 against St. Amant in another classic shootout over in the country.
I tell you what, Kennedy is on Paris Street or Paris Road. It's on Paris for sure.
Yeah, Paris Road.
Paris gonna be jumping. But don't jump too much because they got a video camera. They'll get you if you're speeding on that street. A good friend of mine didn't tell me that, and I got a ticket. But yeah, Kennedy, man, get ready. It's happening. A good buddy Charles Allen, St. Amant by 10, only because it's their home game. Nah, bro, St. Amant not by no 10, not happening. I'm sorry. It's Kennedy, man. Kennedy Cougars getting the victory over St. Amant. Another one, Blue Jackson. St. Amant with the win. Whoa, what's going on here? What's going on?
They're thinking St. Amant is going to win the default Orleans Parish championship. That's what they're thinking because they already beat 2 Orleans Parish teams. Like I said, Kennedy has won a game by blowout, have everything going right. Kennedy won a defensive game, a special teams game in game 2. So plain and simple, if they can put it all together against St. Amant, pull it out, man. And that's going to be huge for Kennedy for power rankings as well.
Yes,
That's
yes.
going to be
Same
big for the
5A,
power
right?
rankings. So
Same
guess
amount
what?
5A or 4A.
I believe they're Kennedy. I believe at 3.
Kennedy's 3.
I think Kennedy's 3 or 4, but I think that's gonna be a big increase.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Nunn. St. Amant by 6 points. What, man? What's going on? Man, these people.
Nobody is trusting the K. They're not
Oh,
buying the
man.
K. That's what it is. They're not buying the K like we're
Mm.
buying the K.
They
You
got
know?
their reasons for not buying a KIC. Well, whatever those reasons are. But anyway, we got Kennedy. We got Kennedy. All right. So now, big battle happening in Baton Rouge. Um, sure, Blue. We'll have you on the show after the Kennedy game Friday night. Once we know the score, we'll have you on the show. Definitely, we got you. University Lab lost a close one to Rummel, taking on Catholic of Baton Rouge, who played a great game against a great Warren Easton team. I'm gonna go first, man. This is gonna be a great battle. It's gonna be a great battle between two good schools. Both teams got talented players, but at the end of the day, I got Catholic Baton Rouge pulling it out, starting in the second half. I got Catholic.
I agree. I like Catholic of Baton Rouge myself. It should be a great ball game. Should be a close one. I think Catholic will bounce back. It should be another classic between these two.
Okay, here we go. Everybody won't be on the show now. Charles Allen, have me on after the show once Grace King wins. Oh man, Coach Nunn. Hold on, Leo. We getting that, Leo. You say Easton will win. That can be our last topic. Easton and Carr. That's the last one. We'll get to that in a little bit. Stay on with us, Leo. Don't go nowhere. Coach Nunn, you lab wins by 3 points. All right, cool. Brother Martin at St. Thomas More. I know Reggie about to come back on and once again type Brother Martin over St. Thomas More. Both teams are 2-0. Brother Martin with a great running back in Torrey Lambert. St. Thomas More always has been a well-disciplined team with the players they have. It's going to be a close one. Close one, man. I'm telling you, this is not going to be no blowout or no big-time victory. I'm going to give Brother Martin a win by 3. I got Brother Martin going to Lafayette and winning by 3 points.
It's gonna be interesting early, but at the same time, I think the experience of St. Thomas More is gonna take over. I think this game's not gonna be close. I think St. Thomas More will pull away and they'll win by 2 touchdowns.
St. Thomas More by 2 touchdowns.
Like I said, Brother Martin has too much inexperience. It's gonna kick in this week. It will kick in this week. They've been fortunate to go against two teams that was young themselves. They was fortunate to go against St. Paul's that were very young. They were fortunate to go a Madison Prep team that didn't bring a lot back, and they got the win. They took advantage of an experience. Now they're going against an experienced St. Thomas More squad. St. Thomas More is going to be ready to play. Going to be close early, but once St. Thomas More makes the adjustments, they're going to win the ball game. St. Thomas More, it's going to be close early, but they'll pull away in that second half.
Okay. Charles Allen says St. Thomas More wins by 3. Reggie says St. Thomas More is not going to move the ball on Brother Martin. All right. James Bouye, he says, check Grace King's schedule to see if it's possible for Charles Allen to get on the show. Oh, man. All right. Here we go. Also in Lafayette, St. Charles Catholic going on the road to take on a good Turlings Catholic team. I'm rocking with Wayne Simeon. Wayne Simeon and St. Charles Catholic, 3-0.
Agreed. St. Charles Catholic really proving their mettle. And Wayne Stein, it's scary that he say they still have to make improvements, but they're going to get better and better.
Definitely. And people are still talking about Brother Martin and Brother Martin and St. Thomas More. James Bouye, Reggie sounding like you really went to Brother Martin. And there comes Reggie.
He's invested in Brother Martin. There's a reason why he's
Man, get that investment. His son don't play football. Shucks.
but
I know he
still
paid for his son to go to school, but still, your son don't play football. You can still cheer for your alma mater. Nothing wrong with that. If your son play football, I'll get it. He doesn't. He says Brother Martin's defense is awesome. Okay. We're gonna see this test this week, Reggie. We will see. All right. So on to the next game. It's for the megaphone, ladies and gentlemen. It is for the megaphone. Rummel 2-0 coming to Archbishop Shaw Friday night. Shaw, they're bringing all the alumni back for this game. They invited the 2007 state championship runner-up team, the 1997 state championship runner-up team, the 1987 state championship runner-up team, or no, that's the state championship team. The state champion team. They are bringing these players back for this night for the megaphone. Before I go,
is Ryan Clark gonna be at the game?
Yeah, he probably will. But before I go, you go first.
Well, this is a great chance for Shaw to finally get that megaphone. It's a chance for them to do it. Can they finally get it there, especially being at home? All the magic coming back with Hank Tierney. Then the Shaw Eagles come up short. Rummel by field goal. They'll keep the megaphone another year. I hope Shaw does it, but I'm going to be contrarian and going with the Rummel Raiders by field goal.
Okay. All right. Before I go, here's Charles Allen. Shaw wins by 7. Blue Jackson. Shaw will hand that thing over on a platter. Reggie Johnson. I hope I am wrong, but Rummel wins. Joe, Zimmerman Stadium gonna be rocking. We got all the alumni, all these players that played for a state championship. We gonna be in the arena, the stadium, cheering these Shaw Eagles on. The Shaw Eagles will be ready. They do not want to let down anyone. They have not had the megaphone since 2009. It is time for the megaphone to come back to its rightful owner. And that rightful owner is 1000 Salesian Lane, when I was at school at Shaw, and 1000 Barataria Boulevard, which is the address now for Shaw High School. Shaw finds a way to win this game. David Kinsey will run for a lot of yards with his speed. Also, we will get the ball to Mike Williams. The matchup to see is Ashton Stamps, who is going to LSU to play cornerback, who plays for Rummel. Can he guard Mike Williams? Can he cover Mike Williams? That is the question. I really think Mike Williams got a skill set as a wide receiver that is untouchable. I think if Mike gets open, not if, when Mike gets open, because he will, Mike Williams will make things happen. I got the Shaw Eagles in an upset. It's happening. The megaphone is coming back to Marrero, Louisiana. Shaw Eagles, they're getting it done.
You believe, and I understand.
Oh, yeah.
I understand you believe, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I felt bad for you last year. I felt bad for you last year. The one thing you need to do, please, do not jinx it. Don't jinx it. I told you before, just don't do it. You had a chance. This time, I just hope y'all get it. If y'all get it, great. Big ups to you guys. Big ups. But like I said, you know, Rummel's gonna take take from the jaws of defeat and be in victory. But we'll see what happens. I'm gonna be there Friday night. Save my seat because I'm gonna be there.
Check this out. I'll tell you something. Shaw got a good defense. Offense needs to get on the field, move the ball, get first downs, keep Rummel's offense off of the field. Plain and simple. It is time for that megaphone to come back home to Marrero.
It's gonna be like standing room only and everything else. It's
Hey,
gonna be
because you know
it's gonna be a
Rummel
crazy night. Rumble travel.
gonna bring their people. It's coming. They coming. They're gonna bring their people, but we gonna be there. And I hope we there early enough and they can't get a parking spot. That's what I want.
Hey,
Keep them out.
now, do you know anybody that is at least tailgating on Friday or something like that?
That's the whole thing with the alumni. They starting to tailgate at 4:00. 4:00 they starting to tailgate.
If you're gonna be out there, then I'm probably gonna try and be out there too. I won't get some of that grub or whatever. Because I don't think funny dude, very funny, very funny, very funny. I'm just saying because I don't know if they're gonna have me covering that game. My games I have is on this Saturday, which we'll be talking about coming up next. But
Yeah.
but at the same time, I do want to be there and watch this giant contest on Friday. Hopefully, they don't place me anywhere else, but they don't. I'm gonna be in Marrero on Friday. You just tell me what time you're gonna be out there, and I'll meet you
I
there.
got you.
And if Ryan Clark be there, and I'm like this, if you be there, Ryan Clark, don't be acting funny with me, man. We go way back, bro. We go way back. You know people that I know, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I think Ryan has done a great job with the network. You know what I'm saying? It'd be great for him to come home and watch this. I hope he bring Marcus Spears with him. I would love to shake his hand. I would love to
Well,
shake Marcus Spears' hand. He's great.
we will see. Charles Allen, this statement you just made, man, I need to slap you in the back of your head. Shaw defense is not better than Grace King defense. I need to slap you in the back of your head, Charles. Come with that statement.
Charles, I think he's promoting and he's trolling too.
Yeah.
He's promoting and trolling at the same time. So.
Indeed. All right. Here we go. Benton out of the Shreveport area coming down to play Newman. Coming down. Newman, man, I think this Newman squad might be kind of special. I got a feeling this might be a special Newman squad. And Benton coming down from the Shreveport area. I've been up there for when Shaw played them in the 2008 playoff game. So they got a 5-hour trip. But with that being said, I got Newman 3-0. You know, Will Randall, Arch Manning, Kai Donaldson, these three guys right here, these playmakers, they'll get it done. Newman.
I agree. I like Newman in this game. Archer should have a big game again. Benton is not this program what it used to be. It's still a good program, but it's not as strong as it was. I remember years and years ago they came down against Medina 35. They had a huge lead against Medina 35. 35 came back and made the game. But still, Benton is a good program, but it's not strong what it used to be. But I like Newman in this one.
Go. Blue Jack. Dutchtown. 0-2 Lions, who are 2-0, man. Coming early, man. They're gonna get,
I agree. Covington goes 3-0. Dutchtown kind of screwed me over last week. So I like what Covington's doing. Greg Salter is off to a great start with an improved Covington team that could play a factor down the line.
East St. John will be Friday night as they take years. East St. John off to a great, can only get better from here. 2. And Landry right. Noah Ellis still trying to find team on an upward track. Once again this week, Landry will St. John 3-0. Landry.
I agree with you. I'll go to East St. John in this one too. I think Landry is going to be, they're taking in lumps right now, but eventually they're going to get back up. But I like East St. John, and they're going to be off to a real good starting the season off. So I like the Wildcats.
Okay. Shore.
Sound like you're breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear
You know, we can
me?
go.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you a little bit now. Okay.
Keith Williams, the rumor. Higgins going to Shaw. I don't lie on me, bro. Don't do that, Keith. And Higgins gonna beat Shaw. But anyway, back to the North Shore. Playing North Shore. Sure. I think Hornville on the run too much. Receivers number 1 and number 5 involved with the ball. I got North Shore.
I can agree with you on that one. I like North Shore in this one too. It should be another close game. I think Daniel Luquette's gonna have Honville ready to go, but I think North Shore has really improved this year, and they're gonna get to 3-0.
Okay. 0-2 going to play the Lutcher Bulldog. Lutcher.
Well, Helen Cox is actually 1-1. They beat Ellender in week 1 of the season in a close game, so they're 1-1.
I went to Max Preps and they said Helen Cox. So they could be wrong. They could be wrong.
Yeah, because right. I think it's a bounce back win for Lutcher after what happened last week. I think Lutcher big. Lutcher big in this one.
Yeah. All right. We got a West Bank Higgins. Well, 0-2. Yeah. I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think West Jeff got West Jeff by at least 6.
Man, I would love to push that upset button. I would love to push that upset button, but I'm not gonna do it. West Jeff by 6.
Right. Inner Discovery King.
To be honest with you, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go out on them. I'm gonna say Grace King. I'm gonna say Grace King. I'm gonna go out on them. I'm gonna go out on them. I'm gonna say Grace King. Kinder Discovery is really been really improving and stuff like that. But I'm gonna go with Grace King to win 2 straight.
I'm going with Kenner Discovery Grace King. Alan is still watching. Not happening this week. Kenner Discovery defeated. Yes. James Bouye said you just want Charles Allen on this.
I don't know, James. I just got a feeling that they might. Both games has been competitive for Grace King, so I'm thinking they might can get over 500 here. So it's gonna be really good, a really good game against Kinder Discovery. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about Charles having on the show. If we had Charles, if the Grace King win, Charles Allen gets on the show, I already know he's gonna be bragging like crazy. So
Really?
I just don't want him to take it too far. You know what I'm saying? And, how some people had the head all high and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? If he comes on the show, I just want him to, come on in and brag on your team, but just still be humble. You just still need to be humble for your team.
Big matchup. Had going 2-0. Coming down to 2 J's. So Jesuit with another steadily improving because it's not too bad, to be honest with you. Face so far this year. and LHSAA comes to New Orleans, and they go back too much talent, too many athletes to handle.
So you think LCA will take this one? That's what you think? Okay. Okay. It's gonna be a close ball game. Just be looking for the bounce back win after last week. Rough, tough trip over in Ruston. I think Lafayette Christian is hungry this year, and they're looking for another signature win. So I think LCA will get Jesuit by a touchdown. It should be a hell of a ball game on Friday.
St. Paul's 1-1 at Yeoman Stadium. De La Salle at running back. It's going to PJ Martin. I don't think St. Paul and stop PJ Martin. You know,
De La Salle goes 3-0, and it will not be close.
now to the Saturday game. Chalmette versus what is this rivalry called again?
The Battle of the Ninth Ward.
Battle of the Ninth Ward. Okay. About this game.
Well, this is going to be an interesting game, and it's Max Prep is going to be honor and privilege that we're going to be doing this game live and everything. This rivalry goes way, way back to maybe the 60s, and it's been a long time rivalry. They play every year, regardless of classification or not. And you look at the history, a lot of great battles between each other. It was a close one last year. Holy Cross had to make some big plays to come out with the win and pull away to win that one. Should be another close game between these two teams. The difference is this time, for the first time in 15 years, the game is at Tad Gormley Stadium and Holy Cross is the host. So it's been a long time. So we'll see what happens. I think this is going to be a very, very close game. I really can't pick a winner, but at the same time, this should come down to the wire, and it's definitely going to be a field goal game.
Okay. I might even be a back and forth game at the end. Will get and be victorious in the battle. So I got hope.
Oh, look at this. You go with Coach Nick, Coach Nick's side on this week. Okay. I like that. You're on this side this week. I got you.
Fair, who I think gonna win.
Right.
All right. Our last Saturday night rivalry in the New Orleans area. Each other for state titles. They played each other to the state championship. Eastern Eagles or Cougars. I want to let Jones go first.
Well, taking a look at that is another game we're doing on Max Prep, so it'll be part of our doubleheader on Saturday. And this is going to be a great ball game. And some people say it's not really a rivalry because how one-sided it is. The last time Warren Easton beat Ed Car was actually Tony Hall's last year as the head coach before he left to go to coach in college. Jerry Phillips has done a great job with his program and everything. And then Bryce Brown, you know how that's been going. We know this has been one-sided, but not just the fact that this is, regardless of the fact that it's been one-sided, this has been one of the most exciting high school games in New Orleans in the last 10 years. This has been the game in the city, the big, big game. And it's going to happen again this Saturday at Berman. It should be another classic, another Warren Easton Car Classic. I was privileged to call that game last year on Crest City Sports. Warren Easton had Edna Carr dead except for a 4th down and 10, and AJ Samuel connected to Urim McMath for that first down at the 1 yard line. And I might have had the most exciting call I probably have ever made because we thought, okay, they need to go first, but I couldn't believe that AJ threw that pass, and I couldn't believe McMath caught that ball. So it was amazing with that game, and it came down to a Hail Mary. So, I think it's going to be another classic. Cannot wait to bring you that game on Saturday.
So Easton by 7. Or will win. Warren Easton brought back from last year. New faces on their team. But Carr has one thing Warren Easton doesn't have. Very, very experienced back, and that's AJ. Carr has something that Carr doesn't have. Back and Fred Robertson. All Carr has weapons at wide receiver. They got great play and in the backfield defense. This is going to be a close. This is going to be a close one. Many for the past years were saying Carr wins. I haven't heard that a lot this year. That right. Haven't heard it. When the game gets close. Think Carl with less than goes down the field over Warren. Ed the car Warren Easton goes to 1-2 with the win.
So are you gonna make your way to Berman that Saturday night?
I don't know come Wednesday. I'll talk my ticket and we'll go from there. No come Wednesday, but yes, I would love to see this game. Definitely.
Absolutely.
It's a big one.
Oh yeah, it's a big one, and it's gonna be what would be a great story on this one. If Carl wins, yeah, it'll be the usual. The better story if Easton wins, that would be the better story because of the fact that if Easton wins, Jared Phillips finally gets his first win, but wins it at his old stomping ground, at his old house. So hey, he came close before. Could they finally get it done? We'll see. We'll see. It's a barrier they got to break. If they break the barrier and beat Ed in the car, this might be, regardless of where Easton is in the playoffs, this might be finally their time. Last year should have been their time, and they did it. They didn't get it done this time. This might be finally their time. But we'll see on Saturday what happens.
We'd like to thank y'all for tuning in. For Sean VK Jones, you have.
Well, I appreciate everybody joining us today. You know what I'm saying? We'll be back for next week, recapping sports and week number 4. But join us on Saturday for the Max Prep Southeast Louisiana Game of the Week. We will be at Tag Gorman for Chalmette Holy Cross. That'll be a 1 p.m. start. And then we will shoot right across the river to Berman Stadium for Edna Carr Easton. We will have the links out by tomorrow. We'll have the links out for the game. We're going to plug and push this out there. We want your support. We want y'all to come and listen to the games and everything. I myself and Travis Conley will call the first game. Me and Jamal Greenberry will call the second game. It's gonna be fun. We want y'all to tune in.
Tune in to Max Preps. Catch for Sean Jones both games. Chalmette and Holy Cross at 1, Car at 7. Okay, Jones. I'm your boy. Jim next week. Have a good one.